Hey there riders, Moto Journo Kris here, and I want to have a quick talk about the recently announced Ducati Multistrada V4. Australian pricing of the standard Multistrada V4 has been announced as $29k right away, while the V4S will be available from $33,500 on the road right away, with a number of packages available on the S, with the full package bringing it up to a total cost of almost $40,000. Only the S can option the radar package as well, although it looks like we get a base S model without extras, unlike the American market. In America, the base V4 will be $20k, while the V4S with travel and radar pack starts at just over $24k, although the radar system is still being approved in the US. For the Brits, the standard V4 will be £15,500, while the V4S starts at just over £19,000. The heart of the new Multistrada is Ducati's all-new Gran Turismo 1158cc V4, producing 170 horsepower and 125 Nm of torque, with some pretty impressive service intervals as well. Sharing a layout with the Desmo Stradale, which is capable of producing well over 200 horsepower, the Gran Turismo powerplant has 60,000 km valve check service intervals, as well as 15,000 km oil change intervals, while running a spring valve return system rather than the brand's more traditional Desmo setup. The Gran Turismo 90-degree V4 replaces the Strada 1260 twin previously used and is lighter at just 66.7 kilograms, running a bore and stroke of 83 by 53.5mm and compression ratio set at 14:1. Naturally, it's also Euro 5 homologated, runs a counter-rotating crankshaft and has fuel provided by 4 oval 46mm throttle bodies. The Gran Turismo also runs a twin pulse firing order, which Ducati claim reproduces the twin sequence, with the left two cylinders firing together, then the right two, which will no doubt appease the more traditionalist Ducatisti who aren't so sure in this whole V4 thing. The throttle bodies of each bank are also operated by separate motors, capable of activating the throttles asynchronously, with the rear bank deactivated when stopped at lights, reducing heat and fuel consumption. A big focus of the new engine, apart from reliability, is road riding and functionality according to Ducati, ready for any adventure touring needs, with a throttle character more suited to touring than the sportier V4 in the Panigale. Apparently we can expect instant throttle response with a tuned flywheel effect, and the gearbox runs a shorter first gear with a hydraulically controlled slipper clutch. Desmodromic variable timing is gone compared to the 1260 twin, which makes sense seeing as how the new engine isn't a Desmo, and it's likely electronics are capable of ensuring that V4 offers a broad spread of torque and plenty of power. Let's talk those electronics. There's an IMU allowing cornering ABS, wheelie control, cornering traction control, and cornering daytime running lights on the S, alongside vehicle hill hold control. Plus, there's riding and power modes on all versions. A 5-inch TFT is on the standard, with a 6.5-inch on the S versions, which apparently offers better visibility and reduced reflections, using a system more like a modern smartphone. The S also gets a joystick on the left switch block for easier navigation through those systems. On the chassis side of things, there's an aluminium monocoque frame, steel tubular subframe, and double-sided aluminium swing arm, which has obviously been designed to be very light, while forks are 50mm fully adjustable Marzocchi items with 170mm of travel. An adjustable monoshock offers 180mm of travel at the rear and does feature an external preload adjuster on the standard version. On the S versions of the Multistrada, the bike features semi-active electronic suspension, also from Marzocchi, with the Ducati Skyhook suspension evolution system with auto leveling function, which is new. Travel remains the same at both ends. With the Ducati Skyhook suspension Evo system, it communicates with the IMU for the semi-active control of the suspension, with presets available for rider, rider with luggage, rider with passenger, and rider, passenger, and luggage. Plus, there's adjustability within the electronic suspension to help tweak it to your preference, such as setting the forks between hard, soft, and medium, or individually setting preload on the rear electronically. The standard Multistrada V4 features Brembo M432 4-piston radial calipers with 320mm rotors, but on the S that gets upgraded to Brembo M50 Stylema calipers with 330mm rotors. Both feature a 265mm rear rotor with a dual piston Brembo caliper. Both bikes feature light alloy cast wheels with a 3-inch by 19-inch front and a 4.5 by 17-inch rear with Pirelli Scorpion Trail 2 tyres fitted. On the S model you do have a standard option for spoked wheels too as far as swapping them out, which is nice to see. As far as weight, the standard weighs in at 215 kilos dry, while the S is 218 kilos with seat height adjustable between 840 and 860 mils. Fuel capacity is a generous 22 litres and the wheelbase measures in at 1567 mils. Fuel economy is claimed at 6.5 litres per 100 kilometres too, which should give a range of around that 300 kilometre mark. Big announcements we've heard about previously were the inclusion of an adaptive cruise control system which incorporates inbuilt radar systems to sense surrounding vehicles and makes full use of that in the blind spot detection system as well, both operating in a similar fashion to what we've seen becoming more widely adopted on cars. Ducati also promise a more dominant riding position than the previous Multistrada models, offering an easy reach to the ground with an 810mm low seat height also available via an accessory seat, with the bike particularly narrow and plenty of detail put into the aerodynamics, ensuring good wind protection for the rider and pillion. Styling is typically Multistrada, and impressively they've kept the exhaust muffler fairly minimal, obviously hiding much of the Euro 5 hardware under the belly. Venting around the radiators will obviously help direct air away from the engine, not so sure about the rider but we'll have to see, while handguards and a pillion handrail are standard. The integrated luggage mounting points are also retained too, keeping things clean. The radar units are visible front and rear but well integrated. It should be interesting to see what the general rider sentiment is for these technologies as more people get these bikes, as to whether they think they're a genuine help or, like in cars, become a bit of a crutch for being properly aware. Driving is a lot more forgiving overall, where small mistakes on a motorcycle can quickly compound into something far more serious. A Multistrada V4 S Sport is also available, sharing specifications with the S model but including a carbon fibre front mudguard plus a very tasty Akrapovic exhaust and special sport colour scheme. The standard Multistrada V4 on the other hand is available in a traditional Ducati red with black wheels, while the S will be available either in Ducati red or in an aviator grey, both with glossy black wheels. Obviously there's been little change in what's on offer with the Multistrada as far as Ducati's vision of the bike. It's a premium touring motorcycle that's long been capable of daily commuting and very sporty performance, with an enormous rider aid loadout adding further utility and flexibility to that offering. When Ducati say 4 bikes in one, that's a pretty fair assessment, but you could also afford 2 or 3 much simpler machines for that buy-in. Would that be a better option though, having ridden past Multistrada machines? I'd actually lean towards saying no, with the do-it-all bike an attractive option and also one that will slowly save you money on rego and on-road costs. They truly are exceptional and it'll be great to see what the V4 version offers. So what do you think of the 2021 Multistrada V4? Is this the obvious evolution of the model, or did you like the more traditional 1260 twin version, or even further back prior to DVT? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you liked the video, consider subbing and hitting that notification bell. As always, stay safe out there and thanks for watching.